Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and the rest of you. We would like to welcome you to beautiful Byesville, Ohio, and the campus of Meadowbrook High School. And it's that time, the 2020 Boys Division II Sectional Tournament between the 18th seed Indian Creek Redskins and your number 1 seeded Meadowbrook Colts. Meadowbrook comes in with a record of 19-3. Indian Creek with a record of 3-19. And if you're going to bring a big tournament game on the airways of KGP TV, you better bring a big mouth with you. And I've done that. I'm honored to be joined by my partner in crime, my sidekick, but most of all, he's my teammate. And D-Train, it's one of the more exciting times of the year when you get to tournament play basketball style.
Yeah, whenever the tournament comes, it's a win in advance, lose, you're done. And we've already had some teams, unfortunately, feel that, who had high expectations this year. And the first one comes to my mind is the MVL champs, the Sheridan Generals. They lost their first tournament game. You're talking about a team that was a state semifinalist last year. Now they're out of the tournament. They lost to New Lex, who unfortunately met their demise on Saturday against Joe Burrow High School, a.k.a. Athens High School.
So we're getting set for Indian Creek and Meadowbrook. We'll now go down to the public address announcer, Jeff Rickens, and join Hannah Stoney singing our national anthem. And what a beautiful rendition of our Star-Spangled Banner by Meadowbrook student and basketball player Hannah Stoney. Hannah, great job. And D-Train, Indian Creek comes in with a record of 3-19. I had a chance to visit with their legendary head coach, Joe Dunleavy. And he said, Tom, we're basically a JV team, a lot of youth, but he said, hey, we're going to come in and play as hard as we can and let the chips lay where they may.
Yeah, I mean, when you use the term legend as an understatement for Coach Dunleavy. I mean, known in some circles as Indian Joe, being the Indian Creek head man for years. This guy's beyond he's an icon, if it's bigger than a legend. And, you know, just it's hard. It's a tough situation where they're real young, but one thing's for sure is they're going to have the kids prepared, and they're going to give Meadowbrook their best shot.
Yeah, Indian Creek, like we said, 3-19. Joe Dunleavy has been coaching at Indian Creek for this is his 27th year. He was at Mingo before that, before they consolidated. So 35 years as a head coach, and very energized. And talking to him, he's very fond of his young squad. And now you look at Meadowbrook side, when you look at the Southeast District, which the winner, whoever comes out of the Eastern District in this part of the bracket will play, seeds 1, 2, 3, and 4 have already fallen by the wayside. I think that has gotten a lot of people's attention as they get ready to start their tournament run tonight.
Yeah, there's definitely been some pretty surprising upsets, like I mentioned earlier with Sheridan and Unioto. They got beat by Warren, correct? So another kind of surprise upset with Warren. You've got to give them a lot of credit. They lost their best player of the year at the beginning of the season with the car accident. And here they are. They're winning tournament games when really kind of probably at the beginning of the season all hope was almost lost with them.
And we'll look at the starting lineups tonight first. For the Redskins of Indian Creek, their starting lineup will go this way. A 5'6" junior, number 2, Michael Kuzakowski. A 5'7" freshman, number 3, Logan Kuzakowski. A 6' junior, number 21, Jacob Wright. A 6'1" junior, number 22, Isaiah Van Dyne. And a 5'11" freshman, number 30, Logan Schaefer. So it'll be Schaefer, Van Dyne, Wright, Logan Kuzakowski, and Michael Kuzakowski. And for the Meadowbrook Colts, the number 1 seed here in the Eastern District Division II, they come in with a record of 19-3. Their starting lineup will go this way. 6'4" senior, 00, Addie Black. 6 foot senior, number 1, Jonathan McCall. A 5'10" sophomore, number 3, Jake Singleton. A 6'3" junior, number 10, Davis Singleton. And a 5'11" senior, number 13, Zach Rusnock. So it'll be Rusnock, Davis, and Jake Singleton, Jonathan McCall, and Addie Black. And it will be Addie Black and Isaiah Van Dyne.
And this is one of the rare games where Addie Black's not going to be the tallest guy on the court. No, we're not talking about any of Indian Creek players. We're talking about the official running across the scorer's board right now, or scores table right now.
Yes, it's going to be hard to hide any of his calls. McCall spins out and gives it to Jake, who'll hit Rusnock. Open baseline jumper is good.
Good start for the Colts there, hitting the baseline jumper on the kick out. Meadowbrook showing a little full court pressure here.
So Kuzakowski's pass will go off of Van Dyne, and the Redskins will turn it over.
Quickly, Coach Dunleavy is going to use a timeout. He's definitely seen something that he wants to fix immediately.
All right, so 7:29 left here in the opening quarter. Meadowbrook with 32-0 lead. A shout out to our fine sponsors who help make this broadcast possible here on KGP TV. Hope you're watching and enjoying us on Facebook and YouTube. Our sponsors tonight: Divine Shine Cleaning Services, Kerbo's Lawn Service, Graham Excavating, and Rawlings Rentals, and Sabre Mini Storage. So be sure you see our fine sponsors out. Thank them as Rusnock dials up a 3, no good. Addie Black, high for the rebound. Shot partially blocked. Van Dyne with the rebound. Kuzakowski, this is the freshman. He gives it to Michael Kuzakowski. He loses it. McCall has it. McCall, nice Euro step, reverse layup, good.
And that's 2 possessions, 2 turnovers now for Indian Creek. That's definitely not how they wanted this game to start out.
The ball will be kicked by Davis Singleton. Possession will stay with Indian Creek, and coming in will be Mitch Williams.
Yes, the wild thing, Mitch Williams.
And he comes in for Michael Kuzakowski.
Anybody who's a baseball fan from the 1990s can remember Mitch Wild Thing Williams.
Being a Cub fan, I know he's near and dear to your heart.
I don't know about the near and dear.
Wright will travel.
Wow.
Nice defense by Davis Singleton along the block. So 3 possessions, 3 turnovers for the Skins.
They're consistent, but it's definitely not the type of consistency they want to have here in the early going.
Jake Singleton finds a lane to the basket. Layup, good. Wow, an explosive first step.
We're going to get a foul here on McCall, it sounds like.
The winner of this game will be back in action Saturday night to take on Philo.
Yep, the Philo Electrics.
The Electrics.
And I think we could play the game right after this one because it looks like Philo brought their entire varsity staff and roster to scout tonight's game. So we can have a doubleheader.
Williams shot blocked by Davis Singleton. Possession will stay with the Redskins. Kuzakowski, the trigger man, gets it into Williams. Van Dyne dials up a 3. No good. Rebound McCall. To Black. Back to McCall. McCall down the lane. Past the Black. Saved. Wow. 3 ball. Singleton. Good. Jake Singleton with 5 early, and Meadowbrook up 9-0.
Not sure how Addy saved that for him, but
Williams, nice pass. The right off the glass, no good. And Van Dyne will be called on the foul. Redskins with nice execution there, breaking the half-court trap and getting the shot they wanted, just would not fall.
Yep, had the numbers.
McCall thinks about the 3, puts it on the floor. Davis, one-on-one to the basket. Layup, good. And there's just nothing the outmanned Redskins can do about that. Kuzakowski. Van Dyne, ball knocked out of bounds. Possession will stay with the Skins.
And you could just tell that the Indian Creek players are just kind of thinking a little bit out there, kind of a little nervous, shaky-legged. This pressure's definitely got to him early on.
Right, gets it out of the corner. Kuzakowski floater, no good. Rebound
Addy Black.
To Black. Baseline's open, but cut off nicely by Kuzakowski. Addy down the lane. Let's see if they count the basket. They will.
And the one thing you have to give credit to Indian Creek here, a lot of teams that know they're outmatched and outmanned, they're going to pack it in, play some type of a junk zone defense. Coach Dunleavy has got these playing man-to-man. He's a strong believer of man-to-man principles, and he wants his kids to work in his system.
So Meadowbrook goes to the bench. It'll be Jonah McCall, Jerome Todd, and Boston Black. In for Coach Scooter Toza. That old-fashioned three-point play is converted by Addy Black, and it's 14-0 Meadowbrook. Right pass will go off of Logan Schaefer. And another turnover.
Yep, that's turnover 4 on Indian Creek.
So a very business-like, workman-like start for Meadowbrook. They're looking to supply the knockout punch, and Jerome Todd comes off a baseline screen for the deuce.
A good pass there by Boston Black to find the open man. Good finish by Jerome. And there's another timeout.
Timeout, Redskins. We'll take 1-2. 3:30 left here in opening quarter. Meadowbrook 16, Indian Creek 0. We'll be back after this timeout. Welcome back to Byesville. Meadowbrook up 16-0. First round of the sectional. And drawing contact and going to the free throw line will be Jacob Wright. Wright, a 6-foot junior. And his first free throw is up and good.
And Indian Creek has cracked the scoreboard.
A lot of tournament action going on tonight, and we'll try to keep you updated with as many games as possible. Second free throw, no good. Jonah McCall with the rebound, gives it to Boston. Todd, layup, and he'll be fouled. And Todd will go to the line for a pair. And we will remind folks, in tournament action, as the first free throw by Todd is up and good. He now has 3 on the evening. If you get up by 35 points in the second half, it will become a running clock unless the other team can get it under 30. So an 18-1 lead. Meadowbrook in control. Kuzakowski's pass. Layup good by Wright. Ball movement so far for Meadowbrook has been exceptional. And there's a travel. Rare turnover for the Colts.
Yeah, the first one of the night there.
Not bad, coming at the 2:38 mark. Kuzakowski has the ball picked by Todd. Layup, no good.
Have a jump ball.
And possession will point towards the Redskins. You mentioned the Philo Electrics here, seeing who they will play.
Got to give a shout out to Coach Haberfield, a Meadowbrook alum. Philo's head coach, Greg Haberfield. Also one of his assistants, Josh Willison, a former co-worker of mine.
And he's still in therapy because of that, isn't he?
Might be, I don't
nice
know.
move. Kuzakowski, layup, no good. Rebound, Van Dyne, stick back, no good, but he'll go to the line for 2. I tell you, the freshman.
Yeah, he's a one-man press breaker. He's broke the press by himself a couple different times there. He's not afraid to go in there.
So Van Dyne to the line for a pair. First free throw is up and good. And Indian Creek, nice move. They're going to get off the line. Second free throw, no good. Save an extra sprint. Davis Singleton to the basket. Layup good off the strong finish.
That was just too easy there. Gave him baseline, and Davis went up and finished it.
Rusnak will check back in for Boston Black.
Update after one quarter in Division III action. Garraway's beating West Muskingum 12-6.
Well, I tell you, we seen Garraway here last week.
They got a few shooters.
Yeah, and they hit 12 threes against Meadowbrook and only lost by 10. I would call that a quality loss.
I don't know if you consider that a such thing or not.
Oh, I do, my man.
A learning experience, a good learning experience. How about we go with that?
Rebound by Addie Black. Down the lane. Finger roll is up and good. And Addie has 5. Meadowbrook up 18, nearing the 1-minute mark here in the first quarter.
Indian Creek seems like they're getting more into a flow offensively, kind of getting a lot of moving, setting some screens.
Jaden Arizari has checked in for Creek. Shot no good, but possession will stay with Creek here. 46 seconds left in the opening quarter. Cambridge playing at Steubenville tonight. Arizari's jumper no good. Meadowbrook will push, 40 seconds. 3 ball by Davis, no good. Rebound, Jake Singleton, but he'll... Partner, after the rebound, he was underneath the backboard and was able to still get that shot off and get to the line for 2.
He was still getting boxed out when he was putting the shot up, too.
Singleton with 5. And he'll stay at 5. A rare free throw miss.
There's one kid you want at the free throw line for Meadowbrook. It's definitely number 3.
Eyes it, skies it, and buys it. 19-point lead. Williams. Arizari passes it up to Van Dyne. Looking for a backdoor cutter. No one open. Kuzakowski.
Tell you what, he is not scared, Kuzakowski.
Arizari misses. 2 seconds.
No shot.
And that ends the first quarter. Your score after one from Byesville. It's the opening round of the boys Division II sectional tournament. And your score, Meadowbrook 23, Indian Creek 4. We'll take a timeout and be back in 1 minute. Welcome back to Byesville. Start second quarter action. Thanks for joining us here on KGP TV. Layup by McCall is up and good.
And about midway through the second quarter, Maysville's up 22-20 over Zanesville. Other side of the Division II bracket there.
Hey, I tell you,
Eastern District.
I tell you, partner, both of those teams playing better coming down the stretch. Kuzakowski shot rejected by Addy. Long baseball pass to McCall. Rusnak three. Good.
Sharing the pill right there, passing up a good shot for a great shot.
28-4. Arizari's pass will go out of bounds. Again, we want to thank our sponsors, Divine Shine Cleaning Services, Graham Excavating, Rawlings Rentals, and Sabre Mini Storage, and Kerbo's Lawn Service for sponsoring tonight's live stream game, Meadowbrook and Indian Creek. Meadowbrook very patient. Boston Black looking for a cutter, no one there. Addy will go baseline. Floater baseline, no good. Boston Black to the rack. Puts it up short and will foul Jacob Wright. Going over Wright's back. So that will be the fourth team foul for Meadowbrook and the first for Boston. Schaefer. Nice bounce pass, but it goes through Kuzakowski's legs. And another turnover.
Hit that bounce a little too late. It kind of came up at his feet.
Boston Black jumper, short.
Wright's going to have that rebound before it's knocked down a bounce. Meadowbrook's still in a favor here for Indian Creek's backed into a half-court man. Their pressure definitely gave them trouble in that first quarter.
Van Dyne, step back three, no good. Addy Black kicks it out to Boston. Back to Addy. And he'll be fouled on the floor. So Meadowbrook will take it out underneath their own basket. That is the fifth team foul on Indian Creek. And if I'm correct, that is the third foul on Isaiah Van Dyne.
Yep.
And he'll have a seat.
Number 44. We could say big number 44 because he's the biggest man on the roster. Hunter Rothaker coming in.
And he's a freshman. A very young squad. One senior for Indian Creek. And a rare turnover for Meadowbrook. So 5.5 minutes left. I think Meadowbrook would like to get this to a running clock by the start of the second half.
And it's very possible.
Shot off the glass, no good by Schaefer. Kuzakowski's floater. Contested by Addy. Rebound by Boston. McCall kicks it out to Addy. Jonah McCall three, no good. Rebound Todd. Layup good.
Drum Todd, Johnny on the spot, getting the rebound and the stick back.
Todd has 6 here. And comes up with a near steal. Oh, nice pass, Kuzakowski. Schaefer unable to finish, but stays with it and puts it up and in.
If you don't succeed first, try again.
And that was freshman to freshman.
Wow, how did he thread the needle on that one?
Oh, McCall down the lane, no good. Boston secures the rebound for Meadowbrook. Addy runner down the lane, good. He has 7. Back up by 26. Williams guarded tightly by McCall.
Good move there.
Nice drop step there by Rothacre. Addy high off the glass, no good. Rebound by Rothacre. I believe 3 freshmen on the floor right now for Coach Dunleavy. Pull-up jumper is good by Wright. Timeout Meadowbrook, 2:59 left, 32. The 10. So, Coach Dunleavy said his squad would play hard, and they've done just that.
And, yeah, I mean, that's going to be a staple of this team is they're going to play hard. And, unfortunately, it's just outmatched. When you look at their roster and they have a 6'2" kid as their tallest kid, well, Meadowbrook's got numerous kids over 6'2" and bigger, and just that there's the gap in talent, too. I mean, McCall is District 12 Division II Player of the Year for a reason. He just brings an element to the game. We're back in the action here.
So Meadowbrook up 22. 3 ball by Singleton is good. That is the second 3 for Jake Singleton. He has 9.
Rattles around and down.
2.5 minutes left. Baseline jumper is up and good by Schaefer. He has 4.
And Schaefer, he's been pretty aggressive here in the second quarter.
Rusnak 3. No good.
McCall finds it, scoops, puts it in.
And Jonathan McCall there to clean up. He has 6. 2 minutes left. Meadowbrook up 25. And you got to think out of that, the timeout by Coach Toza, maybe he felt the intensity as there's a turnover, possession to Meadowbrook. Partner, do you think he kind of sensed maybe the intensity leaving the Colts there?
Yeah, I think he kind of saw some little lackadaisical action on his team, and he doesn't want them to look at the scoreboard. He wants them to go out and play. You got to impose your will on the opposition.
Reverse layup, no good by Davis Singleton off the nice pass by McCall. Williams triple teamed on the block. 3 ball, no good by Wright. Pass to Davis. Turnover, Creek has it.
Our boy Kuzikowski, he likes showing off his dribbling handles, number 3.
Floater up and no good by Schaefer. Addy Black, another rebound.
I think that's 9 on the night already for him.
Yeah, I know he's nearing, though figures this shot in and out by Jake Singleton. 25 seconds left. Logan Kuzikowski walk it up. Rothaker. 10 seconds. Kuzik, nice bounce pass to Rothaker. He shot rejected.
No soup for you.
Schaefer shot rejected by Black again. And that ends the first half here in Byesville. Your score at the half: Meadowbrook 37, Indian Creek 12. And again, we want to thank our sponsors for tonight's broadcast: Divine Shine Cleaning Services, Rawlings Rentals, and Sabre Mini Storage, Graham Excavating, and Kerbo's Lawn Service. At the half, Meadowbrook up 37-12. We'll take a timeout and be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Byesville. Meadowbrook in control here at the half, leading Indian Creek 37-12. Meadowbrook led 23-4 after one and outscored Indian Creek 14-8 in the second quarter. We'll look at the individual scoring for Indian Creek. Isaiah Van Dyne with a free throw, 1 point, 2 points off the bench from Hunter Rothaker, and then 4 points from Logan Schaefer, and leading the way with 5 points, Jacob Wright. So Wright with 5, Schaefer 4, Rothaker 2, and Van Dyne 1. For Meadowbrook, balanced scoring, wow. This way, Davis Singleton with 4 points, 5 points for Zach Rusnock, 6 apiece for Jonathan McCall and Jerome Todd, Addie Black with 7, and leading the way with 9 points, Jake Singleton. So Jake has 9, Addie Black 7, 6 apiece for Todd and Jonathan McCall, 5 from Rusnock and 4 for Davis Singleton. And now we can look at some stats of note.
Yeah, the big stat is we talked about the turnovers. Indian Creek only has 9 turnovers, but a lot of those came in that first quarter where Meadowbrook went to the full court pressure. Meadowbrook with only 2 turnovers, 1 in the first, 1 in the second. The big thing is shooting. Meadowbrook's 15 of 30 from the field by my count. And Indian Creek is 5 of 20. So Meadowbrook's shooting 50%. Indian Creek is shooting 25%. The big difference maker is Coulter up +9 on the rebounding department, 20-11, with Addie Black being the 9 rebound difference with 9 himself. And Schaefer has 5 boards to lead the Redskins.
Now, D-Train, I told you I had a chance to talk to head coach Joe Dunleavy from Indian Creek, and found something just absolutely amazing. He talked about this team and the youth that they have, and in fact, they may not have a senior. There's one kid not marked. I thought he said they had one, but on their roster, they're not showing anyone, playing a lot of underclassmen as well. But Coach Dunleavy told me this is one of his favorite teams. Then he started going down the list of the 15 players on the Redskin squad. And my man, you know what they all have in common?
He has a lot of freshmen.
He has either coached their dads or taught their moms in school. And also the Kuzakowski boys, he coached football with their grandfathers as well as coaching. So every player on this squad, he has either taught or coached one or both of their parents. And that is absolutely amazing.
And that's just being from a small, tight-knit community like Wintersville. I mean, if there was a coach here at Meadowbrook that the late, great Bob Razor, when he was a softball coach here, I'm sure if you looked at through the years, he probably coached a lot of the moms of some of those girls that he played or coached for at softball. It's just when you're around a program for as long as Coach Dunleavy is, you're eventually going to get to that second and third generation of that family, and that's just kind of a cool ordeal. I know ESPN had an article on a coach, I can't remember the name. It was in the Midwest, but he's coaching on like third generation players of girls. He's coached pretty much every sport for the school. He's almost 90 years old, and he's going to give it one more year in girls basketball before he hangs it up.
And I tell you, we talk about this game, a big night of sectional action going around in Zanesville. KGP correspondent Jenny Leggett's reporting after one quarter, Rosecrans, the number 1 seed, leading Bellsville 17-8. And in Steubenville, Cambridge leading Big Red 26-19 at halftime.
Nice first half for the Bobcats there.
You mentioned Barnesville in action as well. Caldwell, hate to embarrass myself, on TV as I'm trying to remember who they played. They've got a tough
Shadyside, I do believe, at Shadyside.
Matt, I think you could be correct. So
yeah, that is a tough matchup with Coach Andes and the Tigers.
Yeah, one of the best home court advantages as Kuzakowski. That will be Michael. It's 3-ball, no good. McCall passes it off to Addie Black. Layup, good. Meadowbrook up 27. Remember, as soon as they get this up to 35, as long as they keep it above 30, it'll become a running clock.
And that's got to be in the back of the head of the Colts, because I'm sure they kind of have memories on the other end and not too long ago of one of these situations.
I tell you, Logan Kuzakowski, that pass is picked, but he makes a lot of good decisions for only a freshman. And you're right, this Indian Creek squad, they're outmanned. The size, the strength, the age, the average age for this team, 15 years old. Rusnak 3, no good. Rebound, Addie Black.
That's rebound number 10 for Addie right there.
And Addie has 9 points, so he's on his way to a double-double. Rusnak 3, no good. McCall, stick back, no good, but he'll go to the line for 2.
And you could say this Indian Creek team's a lot like Union Local's football team this year that we talked about. We saw them play. A lot of real young kids, but hey, 2-3 years, I don't know if you want to face this same team.
Hey, that is as McCall's free throws up and good. Yeah, anyone that's seen Union Local's football team, freshmen everywhere, you're right. That's a nice correlation there to compare them to as McCall knocks down a pair.
I guess the unfortunate thing for Coach Dunleavy, all those football players that they've had that were great football players on their team, they must wrestle or not play a winter sport too. Because they had a very successful season in football this year.
3-ball by Kuzakowski. That's Logan. That's his first basket, and it's a 3. First 3 for Creek. Speaking of 3 balls, bingo!
Answer.
Rusnak knocks down his second 3. And Meadowbrook, if I'm correct, they have hit 4. Rusnak with a pair, along with Jake Singleton.
Sounds right.
Well, that pains you when you have to admit I'm right. Oh,
it doesn't happen very often.
Kuzakowski's shot there, partially blocked. Meadowbrook in control. They'll face Philo Saturday night for the sectional title. It's Davis Singleton gets his 3rd field goal.
You calling this game already?
Timeout, Indian Creek. Yeah, we'll keep here now. We mentioned Philo there. Philo has the 6'8" sophomore.
Yeah, A.J. Clayton.
Yes, a nice ball player. And I tell you what now, you laughed and ridiculed my quality loss statement that I mentioned when Garraway had here at Meadowbrook. What do you call Philo's game against Tri-Valley, the 3 seed, Saturday? Philo lost by 7 to a talented Scotty squad.
I call that a good losing effort, something that you can build on. You learn a lot more from your mistakes than you do from winning. So you go back to the drawing board, what worked and what didn't work, and let's continue to build on that.
You just can't say the Q word, quality. But Meadowbrook with I believe Eric McCullough has checked in for Meadowbrook. So out of the timeout, Kuzakowski. Bounce pass, shot by Schaefer, up and good.
Hey, give him credit. I mean, he's just completely outmatched with McCall guarding him as McCall lays that one in quick. quick transition bucket there.
You're right. So back to 31. And really, if you're Indian Creek, you want the old Rocky theme. You just want to go the distance and keep this from becoming a running clock. Again, Kuzakowski off the glass and good. And that was Michael. Yes.
So his first bucket of the night.
Michael, a junior. He's number 2. Logan, the freshman, number 3. McCall, speaking of 3, misses it. Secures his rebound. Body's on the floor. Kuzakowski up with it. He pushes. Down the lane, shot.
Right down the lane. He's going to be shooting 2.
Blocked, but body as well. And I tell you, Michael and Logan Kuzakowski, they have no fear of going down the paint amongst the trees.
Now, what did you say? They're brothers or cousins?
That's a good question.
I mean, with an unfamiliar name like that, there's some relation there.
Oh, yes. Well, I know Coach Dunleavy said that he coached with their grandfathers in football back in the day. So free throws, no good.
Singleton with the board.
So Meadowbrook. 3 ball, no good. Battle for the rebound. And it's Kuzakowski. Three ball attempt, no good by Wright. Jake will push. McCullough, bounce pass to Davis. Rusnak 3 short. Rebound comes down to Wright. He'll give it to Logan. Kuzakowski.
Oh, dribbled it off his foot there. Tell you what, he's not afraid to lay on the floor when that ball's loose either.
And Addie Black's going to.
I mean, you got to give that kid credit. He's the nonstop motor hustling the whole time.
And Coach Toza has really done a nice job utilizing his bench. You want to keep your starters, your main players, sharp, but also rest them and lengthen your bench because you never know when you're going to need them on what hopefully could be a long tournament run for Meadowbrook. Todd. Addie Black. Floater down the lane, no good.
On rebound, and that's double digits on the boards.
Yeah, stick back is good by Addie. He has 11.
And he has a double-double, 11 and 11 right now, according to my calculations.
Oh, shot off the glass and good by Van Dyne. His first field goal. 2.5 minutes left in the third. Meadowbrook up 29. And Jonah McCall will be fouled. Coach Dunleavy, he thought it was a charge.
It was definitely close. McCall got that elbow up there.
And Coach Dunleavy, he is worth the price of admission. Coaches with a lot of passion, and you can see why the kids love playing for him.
And that's what you need. I mean, they're not having the most successful season, but you got a coach that's just cheering you on, being compassionate, caring, wants the best for you. It really makes you want to go play for him.
Floater.
Addie Black with a nice little half hook shot.
But Coach Dunleavy, he knew this year that as far as the turnover, long pass by Jonah McCall to Jerome. Todd layup good. Todd with 8 off the Jonah McCall assist. Timeout Indian Creek. We'll keep it here as we thank our sponsors. Divine Shine Cleaning Services, Graham Excavating, Rawlings, Rental and Sabre Mini Storage, and Kerbo's Lawn Service. And we were talking Indian Creek. Coach Dunleavy knew this year as far as wins and losses, it wasn't going to be a good year record-wise. But, boy, this is a team you can see that has really grown throughout the season.
Yeah, I mean, so at some point you know you're going to struggle. Hey, let's not pay attention to wins and losses. Let's pay attention to developing these kids. Let's improve every game. So, like, of course, they play a lot of the OVAC schools, and they probably play a lot of them twice. Well, okay, we lost by 10 the first time against them. Let's try beating them this second time we play them. I mean, just to try seeing those improvements in the scoring column, kind of close that differential. And obviously, Coach Dunleavy, it worked somewhat because their last game against Brook, before this tournament game, they picked up a victory to improve to 3-19. So you got to find the minor victories.
Well, hey, the one thing they're doing, they're getting shots. They're not throwing the ball all over the gym, and that's good because we know this is without a doubt has to be the best defense that they have played because Meadowbrook's defense has been as good as anyone that we have covered this year. Nice bounce pass. Ball's knocked out of bounds by Davis Singleton. And Meadowbrook up 33. They get another basket. They'll get a running clock.
Hey, good job. I'm proud of you on that quick math skills. I mean, what can this guy not do, folks?
Oh, my wife has just texted you saying, do you have time? I can name plenty. So a turnover by
shout out to
Skins.
Mrs. Strasser, Rachel. One fine lady to be married to you.
Amen. And, hey, at Rosecrans, it was close after one, 46-14. Rosecrans has opened it up on the Bellsville Blue Devils.
I tell you, that has the potential to be a fun next game for them when they host Highland.
Yes, that's Friday night, by the way.
Ooh. We might have to get some pass credentials. I think that might be the only way you'll be able to get in the gym.
McCall off the glass, off the curl, layup, good. That's Jonah's first deuce, and it's a 35-point game.
Boston hasn't cracked the scoreboard, but he's done a good job making some good passes and getting some good rebounds.
Kuzakowski shot no good. Jake Singleton brings it up. Meadowbrook, let's see if they hold it for the last shot.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to.
Jake and Davis Singleton, Todd, Boston Black, and Jonah McCall. 8 seconds. Todd brings it up. He's trapped. Kick out three by Davis, no good. Todd elevates for the rebound. Shot, no good. That ends the third quarter, and a running clock will start us off here at the fourth. After three, your score, Meadowbrook 56, Indian Creek 21. We'll step aside and be back after this timeout. Six, 9, 14, 17. $23, $32, $38, $48, $54, $56. Welcome back to Byesville. Started the fourth quarter. I'm merely Tom Strasser, D-Train, Darren McCullough, and Carson Todd working behind the camera as Jake Singleton gets into double figures with 11.
The ball screen to attack the hoop.
58-21 Meadowbrook. Three ball short by Kuzakowski. Addie Black down the lane, layup, good.
Coast to coast there by Addy. And the starters here from Meadowbrook know this is kind of their last run, so they're gonna kind of leave it all on the table here. How many ever minutes they have left here in the fourth quarter playing.
Kuzakowski shot rejected by Addy. Rusnak up top to McCall. Yeah, Meadowbrook's going to empty their bench. Next whistle. Jumper by Jake Singleton is up and good. Singleton now has 13.
Meadowbrook's really been able to attack the hoop and drop it off to another guy for an easy bucket a lot here in the second half.
Oh, step back three, short by Kuzakowski.
He's not afraid, that's for sure.
Jake will walk into a three. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
And we got a timeout by the Colts as he's going to decide to empty the bench.
So a 30-second timeout, and Meadowbrook in control. So we mentioned Rosecrans leading Bellsville 46-14 at the half. KGP correspondent Jenny Leggett's filling us in on the action there in Zanesville. So we have 6:18 left here. Cambridge leading Steubenville 40-28.
Good for Coach Slaughter and the Bobcats. That's just a nice, if they can pull that out, a nice win for them.
Yeah, Steubenville's got a solid squad. Mm-hmm. They've had a nice year. That would be a big win. Bounce pass intercepted by Boston Black. McCullough will lose it out of bounds. Mitch Williams will come in. For the Redskins. Nice strong drive to the basket, and earning 2 free throws will be Van Dyne. You know, you mentioned Mitch Williams, wild thing in baseball. Now, partner, I would be remiss if I didn't give you the opportunity, because as the first free throw by Van Dyne is up and no good, you are the only person that I know of that has worn a headset that has not gave their opinion of the Astros stealing sign scandal. So get your mind and thoughts, and we'll get that here shortly.
Not a fan of them. Not a fan. I love how in one of their spring training practices, some fan had a trash can and was just banging it the whole time. I mean, they've cost a lot of people money. I got to thank them for Yu Darvish, though, because he would have made a lot more money on the open market if it wasn't for them knowing what he was throwing.
Nice take by McCall, just a little short. Near steal by Jonah. Van Dyne shot, no good. So ball out of bounds. 4 minutes, remember? 35-point lead. That's in tournament action only.
Yeah. Back to the Astros. I really like how former Major League pitcher Mike Bosinger, I think is his name, he is actually suing the Astros, and he wants them to donate their World Series money to different causes in the Los Angeles area. So I'm all for that. I mean, it's unfortunate that the people that had to pay for their doings are going to get punished more than the Astros did at that time.
Little floater by Boston Black is good. So 3:15 left. Meadowbrook in control. Rothacre along with Arizari will check in. Arizari, a sophomore. Rothacre, who had a nice drop step on the block in the first half.
Yeah.
Freshman.
Right there, that's the little things you got to pull from the film. Like, okay, now we got to get consistent with that.
Tell you, these
Look at
youngsters,
him go.
they have nice footwork as Kuzakowski can't get the floater. McCall can at the other end. Jonah McCall with his second basket. There's a foul. Wow. That was Michael Kuzakowski taking it hard. Like I said, the youngsters very impressed with the footwork Indian Creek has shown tonight.
You have to give him credit.
Now, you mentioned the Maysville-Zanesville game. If I'm correct, the winner of that game Saturday night travels down to New Concord.
Yep.
To take on the Muskies, who are the 6th seed. I tell you, the Muskies, they had a quiet, nice year, did they not?
It's been a lot of up and down. They had struggled with a lot of injuries and different little obstacles throughout the year, but it's definitely a team that you probably don't want to face if they're on.
Arizari's jumper baseline no good.
Rothacre with the board.
Tyler Lacey with the near steal. The rebound comes down to Mail.
And that's going to be Indian Creek ball as the clock's still moving with the 35-point rule.
Yeah, we mentioned Mail and Malachi Phillips on the floor, along with Josh Hupp.
And Zane McGuire is the last one. He hasn't been on the varsity bench during the regular season, but got the call up for the postseason.
Tyler Lacey. You mentioned Webster. 20 seconds left. Meadowbrook will dribble it out, and Meadowbrook will advance, picking up win number 20 to add to their OVAC title and a share of the ECOL title. So 3 seconds, and that is your ball game. Final score, Meadowbrook 69, Indian Creek 22. Meadowbrook moves to the sectional finals back here in Byesville Saturday night, 7 o'clock. They'll take on the Philo Electrics.
Yep. Should be an exciting one.
So I'll tell you what, we'll step aside for our final timeout and come back and wrap things up. Meadowbrook victorious as they move on their tournament trail. Welcome back to Byesville. Merely Tom Strasser, D-Train. And our producer, Caleb Graham, cameraman, Carson Todd here. Another KGP TV production and another Meadowbrook victory as they start their Survive in Advance tour with a victory over the 18th-seeded Indian Creek Redskins, 69-22. As Meadowbrook led 37-12 at half, 56-21 after 3, and prevail 69-22. The scoring for the Redskins, they got 2 points apiece from Michael Kuzakowski and Hunter Rothaker. 3 points from Logan Kuzakowski. 4 from Isaiah Van Dyne. 5 from Jacob Wright. And leading the way for the Redskins with 6 points was Logan Schaefer. So Schaefer with 6, Wright 5. 4 for Van Dyne, 3 for Logan Kuzakowski, and 2 apiece from Rothaker and Michael Kuzakowski. For Meadowbrook, scoring went this way. 2 points for Boston Black. 4 for Jonah McCall. 6 points for Davis Singleton. 8 points apiece from Jerome Todd and Zach Rusnock. And then Meadowbrook would put 3 players in double figures. Jonathan McCall with 10, Addie Black with 15, and Jake Singleton with a game-high 16 points for the Colts. So Jake with 16, Addie 15, McCall 10, 8 apiece for Rusnock and Todd, 6 from Davis Singleton, 4 from Jonah McCall, and 2 for Boston Black. As Meadowbrook improves to 20-3, my man, and they will take on the Philo Electrics for a chance to cut down the nets and advance to the district semis. And that game will take place Saturday night here in Byesville at 7.
Same place, same time. And if I got confirmation from the man in charge, he said we will be here. So Caleb Graham Productions will be live streaming it if you can't make it on Saturday night.
So Meadowbrook really a dominating performance. So we're trying to keep you updated. We mentioned Cambridge, last score we had leading Steubenville 40-28. And after 3 quarters of play from Rosecrans leading Bellsville 64-18. That's from KGP correspondent Jenny Leggett reporting. And I tell you, Caleb has correspondents out everywhere keeping us updated on the high school boys tournament action that's being played around the state tonight. And I will look at some final stats of note.
Meadowbrook just imposed their will, I felt, at times in that, especially that third quarter, offensively and on the glass. It was 20-11 at the half. They end up out-rebounding Indian Creek 36-16. Addie Black led the way with 12 rebounds for the Colts, so a double-double for Addie. And the big thing, the Colts were at 50% at the end of the half at 15-30. They end up shooting 14 of 24 in the second half, which quick math says that's 57% in my book. All those years of keeping free throw percentages and batting averages of baseball players pays off later in life. They shot the ball a lot better. Well, 50% is nothing to sneeze at, but they shot the ball better. They also did, I think, a better job as far as moving the ball and making the extra pass in the second half, getting everybody involved. And as you can tell, when you have, 8, 9 guys crack the scoreboard for you, it's always nice.
Yeah, like I said, Meadowbrook with 3 in double figures, 2 with 8. It's just balance. And a good thing, everybody got to play. The starters got some work. And really didn't play maybe half the game.
Yeah, he got him in there some in the fourth quarter, but they got a lot of rest and got a lot of different guys in, got all 15 guys in on the roster. That's always a great thing. And even, like we said, Zay McGuire getting his first taste of varsity action. That's good for him.
So a fun evening here in Byesville. Once again, as we head out, we want to once again thank our fine sponsors. Divine Shine Cleaning Services, Rawlings Rental and Sabre Mini Storage, Graham Excavating, and Kerbo's Lawn Service for sponsoring tonight's game between Indian Creek and Meadowbrook on KGP TV. And again, these fine sponsors who help make these broadcasts possible and support these fine student athletes. Be sure when you see them, not only support their businesses, but tell them a big thank you. And, hey, why not give them a big hug while you're at it as well. And KGP TV will once again, good Lord willing, be back here Saturday night in Byesville at 7 o'clock, where it'll be Philo and Meadowbrook. The Nets come down. Can Meadowbrook advance to the districts? Keep things rolling as Meadowbrook improves to 20-3 on the season. Indian Creek finishes their season at 3-20. So for Carson Todd, the head honcho, Caleb Graham, and D-Train, I'm merely Tom Strasser. On behalf of the KGP TV family, we want to wish everyone a pleasant rest of the week, and we look to see you here back at Meadowbrook High School Friday night.
Saturday night,
7 o'clock, Philo in Meadowbrook.
Going to have a long 24 hours of tailgating if you come here Friday night.
Hey, started early. It ought to be a lot of fun. So thanks for joining us here on KGP TV. And good night, everyone.